a dummy and completely forgot to film anything at the market. I'm exposing Mother to Hamilton. How do you feel about Hamilton?
That's great. It's the interpretive dance.
Yeah, I'm pulling it out all the stops. Okay, we're going to stop that though, because we are going to go to the market by me, which I go to hopefully once a week, not always, sometimes even twice a week. Ooh! We're just going to see what happens there. So, ta-ra! I got like a clip of something on my phone, but really nothing spectacular. And then the woman kind of scolded me for taking a picture of her vegetables. And I was like, why? They're vegetables. Also, I have taken pictures at the market I don't know how many times, and I've never had an issue. So I think that woman was just a little cranky. But we got stuff for dinner tonight and for the next couple of days. We're going to have some tartines for brunch. I'm allowing it to be called brunch. And we decided that we're just going to have a chill day today, because today is my day off from work, and I'm tired and still a little bit sick, and I don't really want to be walking around in the cold. And also, Mummy is tired from all of her walking around.
Yes.
Very tired. So we're just going to kind of hang out here and watch movies, and I'm going to knit. We might take a nap at some point, depending on if we're tired. And we decided that in order to make today a special Exploring France Day, we're not going to waste it, as it were. We're going to pop to the bakery across the way and get some sundry pastries and have a little degustation. Because she likes pastries. Also, while we're here, how did you like Star Wars? We saw Star Wars!
Yeah. Rogue One we saw.
Okay, Rogue One, a Star Wars story. It's within the universe.
Yeah. My butt hurt. Those chairs were really not comfortable. And it kept taking me out of the story.
A review in less than 5 words. I said less than. No, fewer than. I'm an English teacher. Fewer than the 5 words.
Yeah.
I
count them.
I'm
It
still
was a
kind
good
of
story. I loved the connections to the original. I mean, I am not a shipper where I know all of the characters and all of the connections and all of that kind of stuff. I've only seen it a few times.
See, I've seen it quite a few times. So I was catching. 4. It's number 1, the original.
The first one.
The
first one released.
I was catching all of the lines that they were using to pull in the fans. Like somebody else said, like, it's a trap, and I went, ah!
Yeah.
Like a nerd.
Yeah. there were some things that even I, a fairly novice person, caught.
Pause. Okay, still recording.
Yeah, and
also I noticed some characters that were like throwbacks to the other movies, like all of the senators in the rebellion.
And the one line that I really remembered was somebody's died, getting this information.
Many lives were lost, and no spoilers. Although like nobody watches these movies, yes. But no spoilers. People are in dangerous situations which are alluded to in the other movies.
And so many times as I watched the movie, I was thinking, this is what they were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The many lives.
Yeah. Also, what I was thinking of was with all of the space battles with like the individual pilots, like the Red Leader, Gold Leader, Red 5, and everything. And then one of those people would get exploded, and I was like, that's another one of the lives. That's another one.
I was trying to figure out of the moons and the planets that they were talking about. That was one kind of inconsistency, because I thought that they were the one planet, Leia's planet, that they blew up in number 4.
I can never remember if it's Alderaan or Tatooine. I'm not a true fan.
No, it's Alderaan because Skywalker grew up on Tatooine, right?
I can't remember the names.
Anyways, I thought that was the first show of Force for the entire...
That was the first planet. But this one, they were doing cities.
But they destroyed the moon that they were on.
No. They destroyed part of the moon.
That nuclear flash and tidal wave and all that didn't destroy the planet?
I think that just destroyed like half of it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, whoa, spoiler!
Well, it just made it...
Spoiler! Okay, I'm going to have to put a spoiler. I'm going to have to cut right before that and say spoiler.
Yes. Make it inhabitable. Oh, and maybe it was done in secret because it was done for the Senate.
Possibly.
Because that was a
we're trying to justify Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't know.
I liked that it was a very diverse cast, not just a bunch of white dudes.
There was the South American, the Central American cast. There was the Asian cast.
I am here for, now I can't remember his name. Riz Ahmed, the pilot. Bodhi. I like his Bodhi.
Cutie pie.
Mm-hmm.
Were there, except for Forrest Whitaker, there weren't any African Americans or African.
There was one African American woman, or no, she was English. She had an English accent.
Oh, around the table
in
the council.
Almost said the Republican, the rebellion thingy. Okay, historical.
And even the American actor was speaking with a British accent, which I found kind of funny.
Which one was that? American actor. Oh, Alan Tudyk. Oh, Alan Tudyk.
He was good.
I love Alan Tudyk.
He was doing the Alan Tudyk thing.
He was doing his Alan Tudyk, and I love his Alan Tudyk.
Although, ever since that show he did with the dolls, when he's the really, really, really bad guy. Dollhouse, yeah. In the second season of Dollhouse, when he just goes into pure evil town, it's hard to just look at him and go, oh, Alan Tudyk, ha 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 ha.
I can still do it.
I have seen your...
Because he has now become voice. Yeah, he does a lot of animation, cartoon voices.
Oh, really?
He was in Frozen. He was in...
What was he in Frozen?
He was one of the... He was not a very big part. He was the Duke of Wesselton.
Okay.
You've seen it once.
Yeah.
He does a lot of animation voices. So he's known for the voice work, which I think is one of the reasons that he got this job. But apparently he was on set and doing motion capture, and he improvised a slap at one point that I giggled at quite a lot. So
yeah,
I appreciate him.
It was a nice character. It was Anthony Daniels elevated. It was what Anthony Daniels would do if he were not so...
If he were a little lippy.
Yeah, if he were not bound by protocol. Because Anthony Daniels would be issuing some slaps from time to time.
Mostly on R2-D2. Actually, I think he does hit R2-D2 every now and then.
Yeah, because he can.
Tink. Yeah. And R2-D2 goes...
Yeah.
Best impersonation ever.
It was good. And I have to say, if you're going to see a foreign film, pick subtitled every time, because no matter how good the voiceover actors are,
they're not good.
They just can't. They can't.
That's why I waited to see Inside Out when I was home in Minneapolis, because it came out in spring, and I was home in the summer, and I was like, there's no voiceover actor that's going to be as good as Amy Poehler.
Yeah, right. And to catch all of that kind of stuff. But I just think in general, no matter what film it is, I would always prefer... I mean, sometimes when you get a DVD from the library, you can choose if you want it dubbed or if you want it subtitled. I always pick subtitled because there's something about the voice of the actor in the moment that really cannot be replicated by a voiceover guy. No matter.
I have a lot of fun. I've said this before. I have a lot of fun comparing the subtitles to the original speech and going, I know you have to condense because people listen faster than they read, but that's not quite right.
Yeah.
There was that one where the robot said, I find her response vague and... Oh, what was it? I find her response vague and unhelpful or something. And the translation was réponse douteuse, like doubtful response. And I was like, that's not right!
Yeah.
You're missing the humor! Because that's a lot of times the humor goes missing.
Yeah. But I remember, you maybe don't remember this, seeing a play at the Old Guthrie, and it was about a woman who was an African-American woman in the 1800s who was trying to make her own life as a seamstress or something like that.
I kind of
remember
that.
And at one point she sat down at a piano, and she was playing, and it really bothered you that she wasn't really playing. You could see from her hands that it wasn't playing, and there just happened to be two people sitting in front of us who, as it turns out, are theater people, and you were complaining about how it bothered you so much that she wasn't playing, and the woman asked you, did it take you out of the play? Did it bother you so much that all of a sudden you stepped outside of the story and you could no longer... That to me is...
I don't remember that experience. I remember that play, but I don't remember that experience.
That to me is a real important thing. If something happens on screen, or something happens in the audience, or something happens behind you, or something where you are taken out of the story. And it becomes less impactful, and then because it takes a while to enter back into the story. My arm is starting to hurt. So anyway, so that's this question of the seats, the uncomfortable seats. I thought that they're really not doing their public a service by making it. Did you have discomfort? No?
Not there. We have had a very lazy day. How lazy was our day? Very lazy day. We did go outside. Twice. Basically, after we got back from the market and then spent a really long time talking about Star Wars. We watched an Oscar movie, which was on both of our lists still. We don't have many left. We're both now down to 12, but it's a different 12. Movies. Oscar movies.
Not the same ones.
Not the same ones. I literally just said that. Because I have more prowess with the internet, but she has more prowess with the library. And then at one point we ventured outside to get pastries, because we figured if we weren't going to be tourists out in the world, we could be tourists with our mouths. So we got...
That sounded terrible.
She's judging me.
I'm not judging you, I'm just saying that sounded really bad.
That's a judgment. That's a judgment sentence. Anyway, we got a Paris-Brest for Mother, which is like puff pastry with cream in the middle, and that's coffee flavored, so I'm not going to have any of that. And a chocolate eclair, which I've already had half of. And a chocolate religieuse, which she has already had half of. And then the top of. And then we split a flan, a cherry flan.
Which was not as exciting as it promised.
I find them a little bit...
Wow.
They're very dense.
Yeah.
It was hard to cut.
The crust was worked too hard.
Yeah. Well, it also might have been like an end of the day sort of situation.
Maybe.
It's not from my favorite bakery in my neighborhood. How nerdy is it that I have a favorite bakery in my neighborhood?
Oh, life in Paris.
Sorry about it. And it is after midnight, and we're eating pastries, and I'm watching Top Chef, and Mom joined me, because I feel like when you're eating food, you need to be watching food TV. Yeah. And we also spent the entire day watching Sherlock, so it needed to be a continuation of indulgences. If ever there were like a subtitle for your trip, a continuation of indulgences. It's better than a basket of deplorables.
Yeah, that was bad.
We just had a successful trip to the fromagerie and had to stop in a cafe, apparently, to
check it off the list.
To have the Paris experience, and we both got chocolat chaud, because Mom doesn't want coffee this late in the day, and I don't ever drink it. So I haven't seen it this way before. So you dribble.
I'm gonna do it both at the same time.
Well, I was gonna dribble and then pour in the. So now it's quite a long time dribbly. Bloop. We're gonna need to top that up again. So let's see. And then frothy. Oh, ooh, ooh. So fancy. And then you have to add sugar.